I bet you've never been so busy in your life, have you?
Ali's pretty exhausted. I could tell on the call today he was some of it, he's just absolutely knackered because he's literally just finished the final vocals like yesterday
Oh,
for the
wow.
album. So
Wow.
yeah, he's done amazing with that really.
His voice on Northwest Coast is ridiculously good. It sounds so
Oh
much
well,
further forward in the mix. Was that
yeah.
the idea?
There was a producer that
Yeah.
Ali came across him actually, a Swedish producer who he produced a band called Lowrider that
Okay.
yeah, we just Ali showed him and we both loved the production. It was just really heavy and then Al just got in touch with him and he'd heard of the band. He said, "Oh, I've got your first album," and
Oh, wow.
really liked it and stuff, but he was just sort of his years always pretty much flat out. He's got so much going on.
Yeah.
But we managed to get him to do he did Where Are You Now last year, which is like the only
Okay.
song released. And we loved that. And then
Yeah.
we really wanted to see if there was a possibility he could do the album. And then originally I think he sort of said he could maybe do a few singles, but he wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to do the album. And
Yeah.
then we luckily he got some space in his calendar and he sort of said, if
Brilliant.
you could get it to me by this time, I could do it. And yeah, it's been really exciting just hearing him. We've not got all the mix back, but just hearing them come back from him and he was really complimentary about it actually. He just sort of I think he posted something online about like the level of songwriting on the album was really cool. But no, from a mix point of view,
Yeah.
we didn't give him any. I mean, I think Ali might have given some pointers, but we've just sort of said you do it how you hear it. So
Yeah.
and so far we've loved it.
Good.
Yeah, Northwest Coast was great to get that one back straight off the back.
Yeah.
I mean, even when we were doing the music video,
Yes.
the guys were like, the minute we put it on, everyone was like, wow, this is really pumping. It's really got
Yes. On YouTube.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been a great reaction from the first single. I don't think it could have gone. It's quite surprising actually that Ali it was Ali that chose that one.
Yeah.
Uh, just because it's quite a very different lyrically a very different song to what certainly what Ali would normally do. I'm trying to think if there is any other Virgin Mary songs that are sort of a tongue-in-cheek
Is it
look
tongue
at
in cheek?
Blackpool and well, I think there's sort of like I think there's certain little lyrics, like chips and beans and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
quite, you know,
Oh, poker chips and beans, isn't it?
it was just I was quite surprised that he wanted that one as a single
Yeah.
and to be the first single because it sort of sets the tone. But
Yeah.
I think people are going to be quite surprised with what the rest of the album has. I think the album's got it's got a little bit of everything really. I think.
Oh,
I think there's more. There's definitely some more songs in the same vein of Northwest Coast in terms of the
yeah.
vibe and the sort of the tempo. But then
Yeah.
there's probably more, dare I say it,
Go on.
poppier songs
Ooh,
on the
exciting.
record. And then there's two or three, gut wrenchers that
Oh,
are really great. And it's just yeah, I'll have to say I think it's probably the most well-rounded collection of songs that we've done for an album.
no wonder you're all tired. That's a massive thing. There's no bigger task.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ali, for the last, well, certainly since we've been doing it as a two-piece,
Yeah.
Ali's does all the vocals in his own house.
Oh, wow.
So we spent all our money on just like loads and loads of gear to the point where, vocal, I don't think we could go to a studio and get a better vocal,
Yeah.
use better vocal equipment. So he's
That's
done really
amazing.
well with that. Um, and I get it because it's kind of, I think vocals, certainly from our experience, um, they're the ones that kind of like you sort of feel a bit more pressured in, a bit more of a rush because you only got a certain amount of time
Yeah.
to do it in the studio, and sometimes Ali will do a take, like for instance with this album, he'll do a take, he'll send it me,
Yeah.
and we'll both be vibing off it and sort of saying, "Oh, that's a really good vocal take." And sometimes he'll say, "I think that's the. I'm not going to bother. I don't think I'm going to have another go at that."
Yeah.
And then a week later, he'll have another go at it, and he'll be like, "No, this one's definitely better." So
Yeah.
it's more of a longer process, I think, the
Yeah.
way we're doing the vocals at the moment.
Certainly working.
And that's probably been the biggest compliment reaction from this Northwest Coast is people talking about Al's voice. There was a time last year when we were genuinely thinking we weren't going to make this album.
Yeah.
So
So going back to North West Coast, so slightly tongue in cheek. I was thinking it's about, like you saying, it's like as positive as the Virgin Marys potentially get. And I was trying to think of other positive songs, and it got a bit stuck. And I don't know how the new album is going to be lyrically, but if I may, and it's okay for you to not answer, I know that you lost your dear dad, and the album is dedicated to him. So with that, there's
yeah,
bound to be, and again, I'm gonna don't answer should you not wish to. It's fine, but the amount of emotion
no, no,
I can't imagine how hard it's been.
yeah, no, it was yeah, the whole thing's been really emotional, and I'm sure when we do the album launch and the tour,
Yeah.
it'll be tougher as well. But yeah, it was actually Ali's idea. He was the one
Oh,
that sort of said, um, I want to name the album "The House Beyond the Fires" after because it was my dad's shop that was called the House of Fires
yeah.
in Manchester. Um, so yeah, it came from his idea. So and Ali was really close to this family. He's like another brother. So
Oh, did music
no, I'm happy to talk about it.
did music help you through, or is helping you through? Did making
Yeah,
music help?
always. I think it always does. It's
Yeah.
always the only thing that's still. It's always constant, I suppose.
Yeah.
Um, after my dad died, we pretty much went on started touring.
Yeah.
And we never really stopped. Straight after the Sisters of Mercy tour, we had Christmas, then did more Sisters of Mercy, then we got the Ugly Kid Joe tour. So
Yeah.
it's only really been these last 3 or 4 months where it's sort of yeah, it's sort of back have more time to think about it. But then we've been so busy with getting the album ready and
Yeah.
front covers and videos. I mean, the front cover was a complete nightmare. It was
Was
like
it? It's a lovely cover.
we did. I think it got put off 3 times because of the weather, typical Macclesfield weather. It was probably Tommy doing that because he would have
Ah,
wanted it to rain. Um, yeah, because we had the concept and
yeah.
then um, it was a concept I'd had for a while actually.
Yeah.
But it wasn't involving the fire. It was just
Yeah.
I think it was the idea of a girl sort of stranded at sea.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
was the original kind of idea.
Yeah.
And then yeah, obviously wanted a bit of a fire element to it. And then because it was outdoor, I didn't really feel confident of taking the photograph. So we got
Yeah.
a girl from Manchester called Debbie Ellis who'd
Yeah.
done some studio photos with us that we really loved, and we love
Okay.
working with her. And I told her the concept, and she really liked it. And she
Yeah.
said, I'd love to shoot it." And then she said, if you haven't already got a model, I've got a model that would be perfect." Where we actually took the shot,
Yeah.
it's a reservoir in Macclesfield,
Okay.
and me and Ali were just walking around there one
Yeah.
day. Where we took the shot of the girl,
Yeah.
beyond those trees is my dad's house.
Oh,
So it was kind of
yeah.
yeah. So we
Oh,
thought we have to take it there, but
yeah.
we weren't allowed. So we just had to kind of
Anyway.
yeah. I think 3 times we were going to take it, and the weather was just horrendous.
Yeah.
Uh,
What did you
and
just sneak
then
in?
spoke to a couple of friends who do is it wild water swimming
Oh,
or
yeah. Yeah. I know what you
cold
mean.
water
Yeah.
swimming.
Yes. That's,
And I'd said I'd love to do it here because
yeah.
it should be because that's technically where my dad's house is, but we can't because it says no swimming. And
Yeah.
then one of the girls I knew just sort of said, "We all swim in it."
Oh,
So,
really? That's okay.
and it was just that I think there's some sort of essentially like a giant plug that sometimes they have to open it to and she just sort of said that can be quite dangerous if you're swimming in that's open because it sort of sucks you, it sucks you in. A
Yeah, not
bit
really.
like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory or something. But and then we were gonna yeah, we were gonna do it and then one of my friends was like, oh, you can't just let if it's someone that's not used to getting into cold water, you can't just let them get in the cold water because she can go into shock. So I was like
Oh.
started to wish that I'd not come up with this idea for a front cover.
Yeah.
Um so we had to get wetsuits and all sorts of things. And
Oh, well, it was worth it.
we did actually have I shouldn't really say this because it upsets me just thinking about it, but
Oh, don't be
um
sad.
we had at the last minute we had another idea where we'd actually set an umbrella on fire
Yeah.
rather than the torch.
Yeah.
Um so I practiced on a few umbrellas and realized that's not possible because it's just literally umbrella goes up in 2 seconds and it's molten plastic. But then just spent some hours looking at photography forums, and one I found said you can do it, but it's got to be a cotton or wool based umbrella. So I thought, not gonna find one of them. And then we found one on Gumtree for £15, including the postage.
Yeah.
And when I got it, I was like, we can't set this on fire because it was so beautiful. It was
Oh.
made in 1926,
Oh,
so it
wow.
was nearly 100 years old. Um, So we decided not to do it, and
Yeah.
then after we got the shot that is the front cover, um, our photographer Debbie sort of said, "What about this umbrella idea?" And I was like, "Oh no, let's just do this. I'm happy with
Yeah.
this." And Debs was like, "No, come on, let's do it while you've got the umbrella."
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we didn't even get a shot, so we burnt a 98-year-old umbrella for nothing. Yeah, yeah, I was really, really devastated. It looked like it looked like the sort of umbrella you'd see on the Titanic or something. It was incredible. So
The
yeah,
sort of thing that happened to me. Just
yeah.
going off piste a little bit. What is the weirdest thing you've recently Googled? I can go first if you'd like.
Weirdest thing.
You've recently
What's the
Googled.
weirdest?
You've recently had to ask Google.
Oh, what is the weirdest thing I've had to ask Google?
Because I had to ask Google if it's okay to wash an electric car, and it is. And then I had to ask Google if it's okay to take an electric car out in the heavy rain. And and it was pointed out to me I'm an idiot. I didn't know. Because washing
No, well,
electric,
no.
you
I guess that is something you wouldn't have. It's not something I'd even thought about, but yeah, you would actually.
don't,
It's electric, isn't it? So yeah.
they don't mix. But it turns out it's absolutely fine. They're well insulated. So, but
Right.
that's a public service broadcast right there.
Yeah, I recently saw a YouTube video of somebody hosing the inside of his car, which I thought if he did that in an electric car or any car, it's probably very, very bad. Um, what have I Google things all the time, so um, I'm just having one of these days today, but my mind's gone blank.
It is a random
Uh,
question.
yeah.
We can do an easy
Um,
one. I could ask you your favorite chocolate bar.
Favorite chocolate bar? Anything that's Kinder.
Oh,
Kinder
really?
chocolate is the best chocolate in the world. Yeah, I
Kinder
think.
chocolate is the best.
I think so. Yeah,
I'm going to
I
have to
think
challenge you then. What
anything
about
that's Kinder
Reese's?
chocolate. Yeah, I absolutely love it.
Oh,
So,
but what about the Reese's bar? Like oh my God, the peanut and cream.
that's the American one, isn't it? Yeah, you know what? I don't know. I'm not really. I mean, as it happens, when it comes to desserts,
Yeah.
I'm the most boring person in the world. Like my favorite cake is like Madeira cake, and
No, that's nothing
yeah.
really.
And if anything after that, I'd be like Mr. Kipling's Manor House cake, and anything other than that is just like too sweet or for me. So I don't really. It's very rare that I'd go and buy a chocolate bar, but if I
Oh,
did, it would be a Kinder Egg or a Kinder bar.
nice. We're coming to see you in Nottingham. I'm going to bring you a bar of Reese's.
Oh, awesome! Brilliant.
It'll
Thank you.
change your outlook on chocolate bars. Oh, I'll tell you what, another
Oh,
one.
amazing. Yeah.
Well, I'm
It's
not quite talking. Well, I'm not quite promoting your band, which I should be. But I would like to ask you this, if I may. So I have a Danny of my own. My 14-year-old son is a Danny, and I was told two things: you either can't go wrong with a Danny, or you'll always have trouble with a Danny. So, which side do you fall on?
oh, I think I'm the one that's you can't go wrong. But I'm yeah, I'm as good as gold.
Oh, so's mine. So's,
There you go.
so's my son. Bless him. He's like a Labrador. He just needs a ball and a bed and food and no bother.
Yeah, I mean, coming to think of it, I do know two other Dannies who are
Yeah.
mates, and they are, you know, well, they've always been absolute tearaways. So yeah, it's quite interesting.
Okay, thank you. So your tour, you're out, you've got a couple of festival appearances, you're out with Ugly Kid Joe again, and then you're headlining.
Yep.
How do you find supporting to headlining?
Um, it's it's a lot. I think it's easier, not just not because it's a obviously you play for less time, but it's easier to choose a set,
Okay.
because you just kind of you've only got, let's say, either half an hour or maybe 40 minutes
Yeah.
um to try and get your message across
Yeah.
to people that have never heard of you before. So it's a lot easier, I think, to pick the songs.
Yeah.
Whereas with yeah, when it's an album tour, it's one of our gigs, we're doing like an hour and 20 minutes. So um
That's a long time,
it's
isn't it?
trying to work. Yeah, and it's trying to work out, like, there's always going to be a dip, or there's always going to be, so it's trying to work out how you um get a bit of light and shade in there. I
Yeah.
think that was probably always our trouble
Yeah.
earlier on. Just used to try and have an hour and 20 of just non-stop blasting, and it doesn't work.
It'll be hard for you apart from anything else. Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're racing the machine, I don't think it works. But
Yeah, you're working pretty hard out there. When my sister and I came to see you, because I introduced her to the Virgin Marys, and she'd actually, I didn't realize she'd never heard you on record. She'd never heard you record. Her first experience of you was live. And obviously she was just
yeah.
absolutely blown away. She didn't necessarily know your songs. She's like, wow,
Oh,
su-
wow.
such an
Amazing. Thank
explosive,
you.
such an explosive act. Stage presence. Stage presence is a good one. So are you looking forward to being out on your own, to your own headline tour?
Yeah, I mean, um it'll be our first headline tour of, like, playing um primary markets, as in like London,
Okay.
Manchester,
Yeah.
Glasgow. So Nottingham. We haven't done them since, I think it'll be 2 years in October since we
Yeah.
did that. So, and then obviously it's always exciting when you've got new songs to play,
Yeah, I
a new
bet.
album, and we're hoping to sort of maybe try a couple of them out on the Upper Kid Joe tour
Cool.
and a couple of the festival gigs we've got coming
Yeah.
up if we can. But we just, I guess it'll depend on, see how Ali is, really, whether he's blown out a little bit, and
Yeah.
it's easy just to sort of do what you don't have to think about it as much. But
Yeah.
I mean, Ali's always keen to play new songs.
Yeah.
So if we come up with a new song in a week, he'd rather play that than play anything that we're used to playing.
I was going to
Um,
say, do you get tired of doing Just a Ride, for example? It's like your Mr. Brightside, isn't it?
um, I don't know, really, because I think me and Ali have always had that same thought about it, where you kind of feel like you have to play it because
Yeah.
if you just don't play, and then maybe people that it's their favorite song when they go to the gig and go, "Oh, they didn't," but, like, I've done that with some of my favorite bands, and it
Um,
is really disappointing. Um, so yeah, it's rare that we pull
yeah.
one. I remember we didn't play Bang 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 once,
Yeah.
and our agent went absolutely mental. And it was like, why haven't you played that? And we're like, well, just do it, just leave it out for this one. He's like, don't ever not play that song. So it's like, right, all right,
Okay.
okay, touched a nerve.
Do you have a
But
favourite
yeah.
song to play?
Um, do I have a favorite song to play? It kind of changes really.
Yeah,
Yeah, it kind of changes. Where Are You Now has been really good to play recently.
yeah,
Just a Ride's always been a fun one.
yeah.
Although Just a Ride always seemed like a quick one, and it's not anymore because I think we've just got faster. Because like now when we play it sometimes now, I'm like, wow, this is really slow. Like, yeah, we did. We played Planet Rockstock. Um, wasn't last year. I think it was the year before,
Yeah.
and I'd had a cold a couple of days
Oh,
before.
yeah.
Um, and you know when it kind of like sometimes it kind of it just sort of scrambles your brain a little bit.
Oh, yeah,
And I
permanent.
wasn't really thinking about it, and then we started doing the gig,
Mm.
and some of the songs just sounded like incredibly slow, as if I was on in slow motion, and that was one of them. It was just felt so weird. I was like, I'm not playing this song right. It's really mental. Um, but yeah, no, I think it's just because we've since been a two-piece, we've done Ali's just written quite a lot of fast songs. So
Is he the lyricist? Does he write all the lyrics?
yeah, yeah,
We also have a slight problem because now a lot of my friends and my family have been capable of saying UK. We have the UK and the inflection keeps
yes.
coming. And then in my sister and I, if you say, "Oh God, can you do?" Or if I say to Al, "Look, can you do something?" She'd be like, "You got it," and we think we're hilarious. But
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like it. We need to get like a little one of them little squeaky toys made of Ali that you just press it and it says that. That would be
a
amazing.
dog toy, you could try it on Henry. Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of good ideas, you should do the "I love the NWC" t-shirt that the lady in the video
Oh,
was.
that they're good.
Yeah,
Um,
that would be good.
yeah. It's funny you should say that. I've got it here.
Get one. No way.
That's the
Oh,
best. Um, yeah,
brilliant.
my brother did them. My brother sprayed them for
That's
for the video. But yeah, no, I think we will. I think we are thinking about doing a t-shirt. I just thought it'd be really cool. Be a pretty cool design.
super.
Um, we just haven't worked out whether or not we do it where, we just do it printed as normal or whether me and my brother will print it or something like that. But yeah, we'll definitely do something. It was either that or the front cover that we did, but
Yeah,
there's a bit of a quality issue with that, so I'd have to re-edit it all
there's
and
always something.
yeah. But no,
Tell me,
I think for a t-shirt that would be really really cool.
that'd be
Yeah.
cool. That'd be cool. Tell me why the name, the Virgin Marys.
Well, we we had it when we were I was 21. Ali would have been 22.
Yeah.
And we were in a band called Four Tomorrows, FOR Tomorrows, and we got offered a deal in Hollywood. Like literally like sounds like a story that you hear about. It was a Grammy award winning producer called John Parker.
Yeah.
And I think he won the Grammy for producing like a blues album.
Well,
And I think he'd heard us on something like is it Pure Volume, one of them websites that or something crazy like that. And basically we got offered a deal and it was we had to go over there and record four tracks that he would choose.
yeah.
And then after we'd done that, he had 12 months to sort of get a major record deal. And then if not, we could, all our songwriters would come back to us and we'd just
Yeah.
forget it all. And it was just a complete nightmare. And in the
Oh,
end, it meant that we would, if we ever wanted to use those songs, we'd have
yeah.
to work with him.
Oh,
And even maybe the name of the band.
yeah.
So
God.
we decided at that point we'd come back and we decided we were just going to start a brand new band and
Yeah.
with a brand new name. And the manager at the time, he was just adamant that he didn't want to lose the songs, he didn't want to
Yeah.
change the band name.
Yeah.
and so we were falling out anyway. Um, and I think it was where we were living. We were living in a place called Canyon Country. It was
Yeah.
like, in fact, apparently we were 3 ranches away from John Densmore, the drummer from the Doors. He's one of my favorite drummers, but I didn't realize until afterwards because I would have gone and knocked on his door.
Fair enough.
But um,
Ah,
there was a place called San Fernando Valley, I think it's called, and where we used to drink.
yeah.
There was like one pub near where we were. I think, and that was about a 15-minute drive. I think he did it on purpose because he knew we liked to drink, so he tried to keep away from us. But there's one pub called the Londoner,
Yeah.
and everybody said, "Oh, it's just like a typical English pub." So we went there, and it's like nothing like an English pub
No, I
whatsoever.
can imagine.
But there was all these guys that used to drink in there that they said that they worked on the film sets, like doing lighting and
Yeah.
stuff. And one of them one night said, "Oh, you need to take to our manager. You need to take the guys to this strip club called the Virgin Mary or the Virgin Marys or something like that it was
Yeah.
called." We were just thinking, "Fucking hell, that sounds mad for for a strip club." And I think it just stuck in our minds. So then we were like, "Why don't we call it the Virgin Marys?" And then I kind of think we liked the idea of like if you heard that name, you would never think it was like a three long-haired rock guys. So I think we like the connotations of that. And then our manager at the time said that name is unmanageable. If you call it the Virgin Marys,
Yeah.
I'm quitting. So when he said that, we were definitely
Done
calling it
deal,
the
yeah.
Virgin. So that was it.
Super. That's such a great
Yep.
story. It's not
Yeah,
the answer I expected either.
I've got loads of them. So, but most of them are pretty tragic. So, but yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
tell me why Blackpool, but equally it's why not Blackpool, isn't it, to write about?
Well, yeah, Ali said the song was about the Northwest, but also in particular about Blackpool because he went there as a kid, like I did. That
Yeah.
was our holidays.
Oh,
Um, and yeah, so then I'm the one coming up with the video. Ali just lets me do what I want with the videos now. So I just thought we need to go to Blackpool to film it there. We
yeah.
actually got kicked off North Pier when we were doing it
Ah,
because yeah.
why did you get? Why? Just because you were filming there?
I did, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I wanted to make the yellow smoke bombs
Yeah.
inside cans of Boddingtons,
Yeah.
uh, but I didn't realize the smoke bombs were quite big, so I had to cut the whole top off, and then we had to gaffer tape it, and they did look like homemade bombs, to be fair. So probably a bit of that. Yeah,
It happens.
but it
Oh,
worked. They worked. So
yeah, it was really good. It was really worth it. It was really worth sneaking into that reservoir, and it was really worth just about
thank you,
getting the bomb squad out. It's
thank
super.
you.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Danny. Thank you so much for your time. Gosh, what else
no,
do I need
not
to
at
ask
all.
you? I've got so much written down. I think I've been through everything. Is there anything else you want to tell me? That was my favourite question when I was a journalist. I was like, is there anything else you want to tell me? And that's how I got the story because I've forgotten
No,
to
not
ask
really.
anything else.
Just no. I mean, it's just going touch wood. It's all going really great at the minute. Like the tour, the pre-sales for the tour couldn't have gone any better.
Oh,
It's
good.
really exciting. Especially some of the places we're playing in Europe.
Yeah.
You know, it was pretty nervous thinking about going to Budapest on our own when we've only ever been there once.
Yeah.
No, it's all really great. It's all really positive and
I'm so
just really
pleased.
excited to do it now.
Oh, great. I'm genuinely so excited for you. I just hope everything goes really, really well. And
Oh, thanks, Joe. Well, when we get the new singles and stuff, I'll be so sure to send them on to you. See what you think of them.
please do. Please do. Yeah, that'd be brilliant. I
Yeah,
wish you every
absolutely.
success with it. And yeah,
Thank you.
see you soon. Bless you. Thank you so much for your time, Danny. Take
Not at
care.
all. Anytime.
Thank you so much.
See
Bye
you, Joe.
bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.